Item 10B, receive a report and provide direction to staff regarding alternatives for the Trenton sewer replacement project.
You want to hear about sewers?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The Trenton Drive sewer main is located in an easement area behind the homes on the south side of Trenton Drive, uphill from San Bruno Avenue. Due to the steep terrain and heavy vegetation, this sewer main requires constant and extensive maintenance effort by the city crews. Video inspection for the sewer main in 2010 indicated that there are significant sags, invasive roots, cracks, offset joints in the sewer main, and with half of the sewer laterals partially blocked by roots. In recent years, there have been numerous incidents of sanitary sewer overflows, or SSO, with several of them being the most severe Category 1 SSO. In November 2012, the City Council awarded a design contract to Westall Associates for the Trenton Sewer Replacement Project. At that time, staff indicated to Council that we will explore the possibility of relocating the sewer main from the back of the homes to the right-of-way on Trenton Drive. And we have completed this task, and in this next slide here, okay, we evaluated 6 alternatives, and of the 2 of the 6 alternatives were relocated the sewer main to Trenton Drive. On this overhead here, the top left corner, you can see that although feasible, in order to intercept the sewer lateral from behind the home coming to the city right away, and then building a sewer main right here, the sewer main will end up being about 15 to 27 feet deep on Trenton Drive. And building a sewer that deep is really extremely challenging, and at the same time, it will be major disruption to the neighborhood. In addition, these 2 alternatives are also the most costly. They're more than double of what the recommended alternative that will be discussed later. Okay, in this next slide here, it shows the recommended alternative. And within the 6 alternatives that were evaluated, 3 of the alternatives, number 1, 2, and 5, were to replace the sewer in its current location. And recommended alternative 5B is to use a combination of cure-in-place pipe, pipe bursting, and open trench construction. And access roads is also being proposed, as you can see, in the eastern end of the sewer main and towards the middle of the sewer main. There is an existing access here east of the water tank. For the western end of the sewer main, this is in an extremely steep terrain, and what staff proposed is to have stairways leading to the 2 manholes require maintenance. The estimated cost for this recommended alternative is slightly higher than Then the other two alternative, 1 and 2, to replace the main in this current existing alignment. So it's 1.07 million versus 1 and 2, which is about a little over 900,000. But however, this alternative would provide the least disruption to the neighborhood and also give the city a better sewer main. And this concludes my presentation, and I'm here to answer questions.
Good. Any questions of staff? Michael?
Are you going to replace their lower laterals?
Yes, like other city sewer project, we will replace the lateral up to the property line. Cleanouts are not included.
Cleanout's not included. But in this case, it's all in the backyards, not in...
Yes, it will be maybe 3 feet behind the back fence. That'll be where the cleanout will, most of them are located.
Do we have Orangeburg in that area as well, or is that in your area?
We do have some Orangeburg in that area, based on our experience from our crew member.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Rico?
I know we stated that over a period of time there have been a lot of SSOs, Category 1, it was stated. So when was the last time we had a Category 1 SSO?
Actually, most of these SSO occur between the year 2007 2010. And since then, our crew has been implementing a very intensive treatment, maintenance, cleaning, foam treatment for the roots intrusion. And so in the last several years, there has not been any major sanitary sewer overflow in this sewer main.
And with that extra effort thanks to staff, what is that costing the city as far as its time and resources? Or not specific, but a general idea.
The number that we put together was estimated at approximately $10,000 a year for the maintenance effort.
And I know there were 6 options, which was quite a bit to try to navigate. And what was the strategy for staff with the various options? And I understand it's about disruption, less disruption, and there's cost. But many times when our staff reports, we have a few options, some alternatives. Here we had quite a few that were spent the time and for us to get that information. And so, what was this? Maybe to the public works.
Can
director.
we?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry, because it's more of an encompassed question.
Yeah.
Why to this degree, or whoever wishes to answer that?
Well, if we can revisit this exhibit that is on the board. Mm-hmm. So there are 6 alternatives. Basically, we can divide it into 2 groups. 1, 2, and 5 are the ones that will replace the sewer in its existing alignment. So the difference between 1 and 2 and 5, number 1 is using a cure-in-place pipe method. Number 2 is, for that particular method, the advantage is that there will be minimum excavation. However, it would decrease the pipe diameter by anywhere from 10–20%. And for sections that are really low and have a capacity deficiency, this alternative is not recommended, which we do have on that sewer main. There are sections with capacity deficiency. And alternative number 2, that is also in its existing alignment, but using pipe bursting. And note that in this overhead there are 2 sections of sewer main that comes from Trenton into the back of behind the homes. These 2 sections of sewer main here and here carries the wastewater in the vicinity, other than the homes that are right on the south side. So if we were to use pipe bursting in between these homes, that may be, that is not recommended because that could cause some kind of heaving, soil disturbance in between these homes. So that, therefore, option 2 is not recommended. When you go to option 3 and 4, those are the ones that we talk about relocating the sewer onto Trenton Drive. And because of the difficulty in construction, they were more than double of what the other options are. 5A is an option that using the combination of queue-in-place pipe bursting, and open trench. So basically, for number 5, option 5, the section that between the homes will be used to queue-in-place pipes, so there won't be any, ground shaking operation. For the main line, we would use pipe bursting, which will increase the capacity. And for the 2 ends of the sewer main, we will use open cut, and that will raise the slope of that sewer main to provide better flow. So that is the recommended option, using all 3 technologies. The difference between 5A and 5B, 5A will still have the sewer main going through Livingston Terrace. 5B is to reroute that section of sewer main going onto San Bruno Avenue. And alternative 6 is actually an exercise to see if installing individual ejector pumps for each one of these 40 homes. And the city will, by installing these pumps, the city will essentially assume the responsibility to maintain all these ejector pumps. And the installation cost is also higher than the recommended alternative at one point, close to 1.5 million. So I hope that clarifies the options.
Okay. Ken?
We're not engineers. Yeah, we're not engineers, and I think reading through the consultant's report, everything clearly details all the advantages and I remember when you originally presented this project, I asked a few questions, and it's like, this is not your flat backyard or something. This is, steep terrain, heavily vegetated and everything, and so downhills, there's nothing flat here, right? So I think we've done the homework, we've done the study, and the consultant's done, got his money worth. We got his money's worth out of the consultant on this. So I think that's the best, and we do have to think about disruption of the neighborhood too.
Okay. Action? No, direction?
I'd make if no other comments, and if it's not a resolution, I'll make a motion that we accept staff's recommendation.
Second.
Motion and second on the question. All in favor?
Aye.